Hello and welcome to today's reflection. Today we are going to look at the psalm which was set for this morning, which is Psalm 22. Psalm 22 is perhaps most famous because it's the psalm which Jesus chooses to quote when he is being crucified. So the first verse of Psalm 22 reads, my God, why have you forsaken me?" But if you have the opportunity to continue reading and to look at the whole of Psalm 22, I just find it really fascinating, really amazing how prophetic this psalm is, as it speaks about the things that are to come. It talks about things that we read about happening to Jesus, although this psalm was obviously written thousands of years before Jesus was even born. So I'm going to read just the first 5 verses of this psalm today, which go, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from helping me, from the words of my groaning? Oh my God, I cry by day, but you do not answer, and by night, but find no rest. Yet you are holy, enthroned on the praises of Israel. In you our ancestors trusted. They trusted and you delivered them. To you they cried and were saved. In you they trusted and were not put to shame. And I think, the Psalms are able to connect with us in a whole range of different ways. There are Psalms of praise, Psalms of lament, Psalms that are prophetic like this one, Psalms that really speak of anguish or sorrow or joy and celebration, Psalms that praise creation. They cover a whole multitude of emotions and the whole spectrum of human experience. And I think this psalm particularly talks about that idea that God feels far away at times. Sometimes we feel like we've been abandoned or left alone. But even in those short 5 verses, it goes on to talk about how historically they know, looking back, that God is there with them and that God has heard their cry and has been alongside them. And they were not put to shame, that God was present. And I think part of our journey with God is to acknowledge there'll be days where we feel abandoned and alone and forsaken, and there'll be days where we feel jubilant and celebrating and really positive. And I think that's part of a faith journey, isn't it? That you need to be able to acknowledge one, but hold on tight to the other, to know that we have a God who is with us and who loves us and walks alongside us, even on the days when perhaps we feel that we have been forsaken or abandoned. And I guess, maybe as we are entering into what is the 3rd month of this current lockdown and people feel a bit alone and abandoned and forsaken, that we're not alone. We have the opportunity to pick up the phone and speak to others. We have the opportunity to draw alongside others. We can send cards and notes and be supportive of one another. It just looks different. And sometimes in our relationship with God, it sometimes looks different. We do different things in different seasons. God speaks to us or makes us feel his presence in different ways. So perhaps it's just an opportunity to maybe look and to see and to acknowledge how things maybe are different to usual and find new and different ways of making connections, both with one another but also with God. Amen.